Skills for Life is a new social movement that has been created to inspire youth to think about life skills development from an earlier age. You're always socializing with people. As you grow older, it's important to know what is going to be needed of you in the real world, like networking, financial literacy, self-esteem building, and that's what we look to share. So it's a new charity aimed at inspiring youth to just work on those skills from an earlier age.
What was the passion, or how did this come together for you? Why did you think of doing this and empowering youth?
Well, it really came from my own experiences and my travels through education, formally in school and outside of school, and realizing that even though I did fairly all right in school, it wasn't really my grades or my direct skills, like honing in on hard skills that were all that was needed.
Right.
I realized after you graduate or even going through school, soft skills was so important. Knowing how to speak to people, integrate people, share ideas, having self-esteem within yourself, financial literacy, learning how to manage things. All those are skills that weren't directly taught in a book, but were so important. And I think I just used to think about it and think about me and some of my friends and where they've gone versus how I've been able to go through and what was the differences. And I believe it has something to do about honing in on those skills.
Skills for Life presents 2 new programs. Discover Your Path program. This program provides workshops and discussions on core topics to youth ages 16 to 22, like networking, financial literacy, SMART goal setting, career discovery, and self-esteem building. We incorporate sports like basketball to teach meaningful life skills, such as perseverance, teamwork, personal growth, and communications. New Age Mentorship Program. This program matches a youth with a young adult mentor who provides insights on their personal and professional journey and help fulfill short and long-term goals. This includes workshops, social engagements, and more. Coming soon. Register now. Skills for Life.
Skills for Life is a new social movement that has been created to inspire youth to think about life skills development from an earlier age. You're always socializing with people. As you grow older, it's important to know what is going to be needed of you in the real world, like networking, financial literacy, self-esteem building, and that's what we look to share. So it's a new charity aimed at inspiring youth to just work on those skills from an earlier age.
What was the passion, or how did this come together for you? Why did you think of doing this and empowering youth?
Well, it really came from my own experiences and my travels through education, formally in school and outside of school, and realizing that even though I did fairly all right in school, it wasn't really my grades or my direct skills, like honing in on hard skills that were all that was needed.
Right.
I realized after you graduate or even going through school, soft skills was so important. Knowing how to speak to people, integrate people, share ideas, having self-esteem within yourself, financial literacy, learning how to manage things. All those are skills that weren't directly taught in a book, but were so important. And I think I just used to think about it and think about me and some of my friends and where they've gone versus how I've been able to go through and what was the differences. And I believe it has something to do about honing in on those skills.
Skills for Life presents 2 new programs. Discover Your Path program. This program provides workshops and discussions on core topics to youth ages 16 to 22, like networking, financial literacy, SMART goal setting, career discovery, and self-esteem building. We incorporate sports like basketball to teach meaningful life skills such as perseverance, teamwork, personal growth, and communications. New Age Mentorship Program. This program matches a youth with a young adult mentor who provides insights on their personal and professional journey and help fulfill short and long-term goals. This includes workshops, social engagements, and more. Coming soon. Register now. Skills for Life.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ready, Set, Work event. My name is Faith Ganda, and I'm going to be your host this evening. I'm so excited for today's event, and one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is giving out some amazing prizes. We have gift cards valued from $25 to $200. In today's event, you can also expect to hear from our amazing guest speakers, as well as always, we always have an amazing DJ. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the event DJ for today's event.
My days when I'm not with you, babe. Ooh, your love keeps me warm. Unconditional prisoner, I'm on. Your love give me something I want. Your one give me something to feel. Your one give me something that's real. So true love. At the end of the day, this is true. True love. Deep in my soul. You're dangerous. How can I trust? Still I want more. True love. Hey, can I you be number one? Girl, I love the way you make the thing go round. Now me and you go there at the song go on. Now me and you go there till the sun come up. Inside she control me. She did tell me, baby, bossy, don't you fool me. Hot every day, she did consume me. Say she want it every day, we make it movies. My baby with me. Every day you with me. See, every day with me, they with me. My baby, they complete me. Say my baby know the juicy, da. Say the loving when she give me, I know. Say if I do time, she don't leave me, my love. Say not the loving when she give me, I know. Say not true love. My days when I'm not with you, babe. Ooh, your love keeps me.
Okay. Thank you, MC Genesis. It's always a pleasure hearing from you. You're so good at what you do, and we're happy to have you. But before we really just dive into things, I want to get us started on a quick survey to get everybody warmed up. So if you could just grab your devices and head over to www.mentee.com and enter the following code. Just let me know when you're there. Again, head over to www.mentee.com and I will read out a code for you guys to enter once you get there. The code will be 3729367. Again, the code is 37293667. And the website is www.mentee.com. Okay, so the first question that we have is, what is your age? So please go ahead and let us know what age group you belong in. Okay, I see we have a lot of people in their 20 to 30s, 24 to 30. Okay, do we have anybody else? Please go ahead and let us know how old you are. Okay, we see we have some people between ages of 24 to 30, and then we also have some people that are 30 plus. Good to see you guys engaging. Okay, next I would love to know, where are you joining from? Right now I'm in Hamilton, Ontario, but I would really love to know where everybody else is from. I see we have some people from Brampton. That's amazing. Shout out to Brampton. Hamilton, yes, yes. Hamilton in the house. Amazing. Germany. Wow, we have somebody all the way in Germany. That's incredible. Thank you so much for joining us today. So now that you guys have told us how old you are and where you're located, I would really love to know, how did you hear about this event? Okay, so it looks like people heard about this event from friends or from Instagram. That's amazing. So I encourage you that if you're enjoying this event, to also share with a friend or with your Instagram platform, so that we can get more people joining our event. Perfect. And how many of you have attended a Skills for Life event in the past? Okay, I could see we have a lot of yeses. Amazing. And for those that are joining us for the first time, welcome. So what is something that you hope to learn from today's event? Go ahead and let us know in the comments what's something that you'd like to learn.
But I can't be. The noise in my mind wouldn't leave me. Try to get by, but I'm burning. And behind my mind, it runs. All these thoughts are troubling. Fighting to give up my pain. Fighting to be
Okay,
on
we see
my
something you
mind.
need to learn
Running to
about
the
job
other
skills. You're
side.
definitely
When
in the
it's
right
time to
place.
leave my
How
life.
to improve
Daddy
your
tries to
resume.
take me out.
Fantastic.
Tell you what I need.
I'm sure you guys will learn a lot of things from today's session. We have an amazing lineup of speakers.
I need to free my mind now. I really need Jada. I really need to free my now. I really need my now. Oh, yeah. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Send me love that you cannot mix. One is the joy that you cannot waste, and the other one price that you cannot fix. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Finding a way when you cannot see. Man with this system.
Okay. Thank you so much, MC Genesis. That was fantastic. Thank you for keeping the vibes going. And a huge thank you to everybody who also participated in the survey. So I'd like to welcome you all again to this event. And today's event is all about preparing yourself for the everyday real life world experiences. And one of the best ways to do that is by developing your life skills, such as job readiness. Preparing yourself for a job market is so important because it allows you to really stand out from your fellow candidates by increasing your chances of securing your desired job position. So I'm really excited for this session because, again, we'll be sharing a lot of that insight with you guys. And that's why we think that this was an important topic for us to cover. In today's event, we'll also have an incredible lineup of guests, amazing prizes, a DJ that you've already heard from. And speaking of prizes, we're just going to start this event strong and do a giveaway. We did say that the first 25 people to register would be entered into a giveaway for a chance to win a $25 Amazon gift card. And we're going to go ahead and announce the winner. So once you see your name on the screen, go ahead and message Skills for Life on their Instagram. And without any further ado, we're going to announce the winner. Are you guys ready? And the winner of this giveaway is Seth Smith. So, Seth Smith, please go ahead and send a quick message to Skills for Life on Instagram to claim your $25 gift card. And thank you again for everybody who has participated so far. And this event would not have been possible without the organization Skills for Life. And with that being said, I want to introduce everyone to the founder and executive director of Skills for Life, Chris Thompson.
Thanks, Faith, and glad to be here. Thanks for being here once again. You always do a great job as a host. And shout out to DJ MC Genesis, always holding it down on tunes. So today, for those who are here, Skills for Life is always about developing life skills. We want to ensure that the youth are prepared for the future. We look at things like being able to try new things, learn new areas to try, fail, try new things, move forward, preparing for the real world, work, jobs, your career, entrepreneurship, whatever it may be. The goal of Skills for Life is really to try to empower youth, to set smart goals, to try new things and build life skills, things that can be done no matter your financial status, your education level, or, within in your life. Anything that you go through, you can learn these skills to help navigate, network, learn, try new things, and develop. So I just want to thank my team who's in the back end putting things together. And I want to thank our host and the guest speakers who will be coming up today. And hope that you all don't stop here today. You get involved with our programs, one-on-one mentorship, or discover your path. Follow us on social media or socials and continue to learn. So thanks again. I'm going to turn it back over to our host.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you for all the hard work that you do. And again, thank you for the team behind the scenes that's making the flow of the show just go on so smoothly. But without any further ado, I'd like to introduce us to our first guest speaker, Sandra Persad, who will be covering resume building. Sandra, for the past 10 years, she's been owning the HR scene, juggling everything from employee relations and engagement to manpower and planning. Talent management, recruitment with finesse. Whether it's talent scouting or fine-tuning business operations, she's all about creating workplaces where everyone's talent shines and makes the workplace feel like a breeze. So Sandra, thank you so much for joining us, and we're really looking forward to hearing a little bit more about you. So if you could go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, thank you, Faith. For myself, like Faith said, I have 10 years of experience. I have recruitment, I have talent management, I have succession planning. Most of my experience has taken place in a generalist capacity. So I work closely with managers, with supervisors, and because of that, I do have a lot of experience working in various industries alongside managers and supervisors to fill various roles. I understand what their needs are. I understand the business. And I've also come to work very closely with recruiters as well. So I really do understand what hiring managers and recruiters are looking for when it comes to resume creating, designing, as well as like what recruiters do when they are looking at resumes. So even in my own experience, as well as working alongside managers and recruiters in my current scope.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with us a little bit about yourself. We did ask earlier what people were looking forward to in this session, and somebody did say resume building. So I think you're the perfect guest speaker to go first. So with that being said, what are some important things that you think make a resume stand out? If you could just share with us, would appreciate that.
Yeah. So I think the very first thing is understanding the job itself. So when you are applying for a role, you always want to know what the job description is and if you fit the role itself, like if you have the skills. And even if you don't, even if it's like you're shooting a little bit higher, look at Donald Trump, shot for the stars, got hired on, right? So it's always good to see always know what job you're applying for and always tailor your resume to the content of the job description. So you want to make sure that you customize your own resume and highlight your relevant skills, your experiences, your achievements, all that align with the job description. That not only shows that you're a good fit for the position, but also it shows that you've taken the time um, taken the time to look at how you fit with the role and how you align with the organization itself. Something else you want to really look at is your own quantifiable achievements. So you want to include specific achievements and results rather than just listing off your job responsibilities. You want to have numbers, percentages, metrics that can also really make your achievements more tangible, and you want to demonstrate your measurables to the potential employers that you're looking to impress. This really demonstrates your ability to carry out actions. So, as an example, you want to, instead of saying, responsible for sales, you want to say increase sales by 20% within the last 6 months by uh, by ensuring customer retention in different these different skills or these different areas. So you want to make sure that you have demonstrated actionable items, actionable items, I want to say, and make sure that you have that alongside quantifiable achievements and results. And then the other thing that you want to look at is professional design and formatting. So making sure that your resume is visually appealing, easy to read, it's a clean layout, lots of white space, consistent formatting. You want the professional fonts such as Arial or Times New Roman. Make sure it's well organized, visually appealing, it grabs the recruiter's attention, and it reflects your own professionalism. So you want to avoid excess decorations or excess clutter or too much text. My one thing that I will say is that there's like a little caveat. So you always want to know what your resume should look like, and uh, you want to always cater it to the industry you're working in. So if you're applying for an office space, maybe you have more of a traditional resume. You want to make sure that your resume does have like a very clean layout. Let's say you're working in marketing. You want to have more of a creative design. So maybe using the tools like Canva, a digitally creative website can help you build your more of a creative resume, but also make it look professional and tailor it to the industry you're working in.
I absolutely love that. I think those are amazing tips. And I know in the earlier phases of my life when I was applying for jobs, I definitely made some of those mistakes that you pointed out. I used a generic resume and pushed it out to everybody. It didn't matter what the job was. I just sent the same resume. So I love the fact that you said we should be adjusting and editing our resume to fit the job. I think that was a really great tip. And also the
Mhm.
tip of the quantifiable achievements. That was really, really, really good as well. So thank you for sharing that insight with us. The second question that I have for you is, what are great methods for enhancing your resume that you could
So So I shared a little bit, but I mean, there's really a lot more specifics to, having that professional design or, having it stand out. Like I said, you want to use that clean layout that's uncluttered with plenty of white space. Make sure that your resume is easy to read font, visually appealing, not too much text. Uh, Dividing your resume into clear sections is a big thing. I think that most most individuals aren't sure how to section off their resumes, but if you want to really um, capture the attention of the employer, you want to make sure that you have your name, your contact information close together. Your name should be something that stands out on the page. And there's something that I've done that really has helped me um, to identify to employers who I am, and that's usually I'll put something like HR specialist, HR business partner, whatever my title is at that time. I'll usually include that at the bottom so that people who are reading my resume know that this is what I am, this is who I am, this is what I'm looking for. Um, you want to have a brief summary of your work experience, your objective. You want to put that at the top, and you want to have it so that it it indicates the employer what your objective is. So like a good example would be, seeking a challenging sales position with a forward-thinking company where I can leverage interpersonal skills. That's really a lot of words, but it's pretty much I want to have a challenge. I'm seeking a challenge in a company where I can really grow and hone my skills. So you want to in simple terms and professional terms list out your objective of what you're looking to achieve with the company. Then underneath that, I would have key skills, and that includes either hard skills or technical skills. There's so many times where I've seen resumes where they've put like people person or customer service skills, but these are really competencies that are soft skills, and you want to have in your key skills hard skills that you've developed, whether that's like Excel or certain systems that you've worked with, or technical skills, um, such as, well, I'm going to use myself as an example. So I would put recruitment as my skill because that's one of my technical skills. Working with legislation, um, anything along those lines that's a little bit more technical that can align with the job that you're applying for. Again, this is a really easy and great way to show employers what your skills are by just even looking at the job description. And the job description is always going to be your best friend. You can look at your work experience. So you can have your work experience below that. So again, having your job responsibility alongside those tangible results. And if you're unsure of how to combine job responsibility along with quantifiable achievements or results, the easiest way and the best way that I've always done it is I've had my job responsibilities, and then below it, I've had achievements and some of the stuff that I'm proud of, some of the projects I've worked on, and what results have yielded from my projects. And then finally, you want to look at education, certification, languages, especially if it's for a bilingual role. And then finally, I know that uh, for the different sections, usually individuals will include like references available upon request, and interest. It's not really necessary. We don't really read it all that much, I'll be honest. And then a couple of other things that I know I'm talking a lot, but there's so much to share. I'm very passionate about it. But you always want to maintain consistent formatting on your resume, use bullet points, keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Uh, and relevant details such as job titles, company names, um, stuff like that. And keep it to conservative colors.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you again for sharing that. I think, again, you're sharing some really, really good tips, and I can see that the audience is already eager to ask some questions. So before I go to my next question, I'll pull up one that I see quickly from the audience. They asked, what headers do you recommend?
What headers do I recommend? So for the clear sections, like clear defined sections, I would recommend um, work experience at the top, or objective at the top. Then I would say brief brief summary about yourself or work experience. So it's just like a summary outlining who you are. And then below that would be skills or key skills. Again, that's looking at your hard skills or technical skills. Below that, work experience. And then below that would be education, certifications, and any languages. And I know that it seems like it's a little bit contradictory to put your education at the bottom, but you really want to have an impact in managers and employers and recruiters looking at your skills. They want to know if you have the skills. If you are starting out in the industry, um, have your education before your work experience if you're looking to gain more work experience. I hope that makes sense. That's a little bit clear.
It does. I think that was good. It made sense to me. Again, the audience, if you want us to, ask further questions, feel free to use a comment box to ask any questions and I can push them out to Sandra for sure. But in the meantime, I have one more question, which is, do you have any resources that you can share? I know you did touch on Canva before, but is there any other resources that the audience can use to, whether format their resumes or just use templates from?
Yeah. Canva is a really good one. I am a traditionalist to the through and through. Microsoft Word has some great ones. They have a lot more. And if you don't have Microsoft Word, and you can't take it from a family member, like the licensing, try Google. Google Docs has some free templates as well.
Awesome. I knew Canva had them and I knew Microsoft had them, but I didn't know Google Docs had some. So
Mhm.
that's really good to hear. And I believe that all these platforms also offer them for free. I know Canva has a pro version, but they also have a free version. So
Yes.
again, that is something good to leverage because these resources are available to you for free.
Mhm.
I think we have one more question from the audience, which is going to be the last and final question that I'm going to take from the audience before we move over to our next speaker. Javika was asking, what's the best layout for a fresher? We don't have any experience, so how do we go about going with that for a layout?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think that the best way that you can include some of your experience in your layout is demonstrating anything that shows your commitment to your field and your own professional development. So, having volunteer experience that allows you to highlight your contribution to the community. You also want to choose something that's going to align your career goals and showcase your relevant skills or interests. That could be something that goes under work experience as well. If you're pursuing any additional training or certifications, that will help highlight to employers your dedication to the field as well. So anything that's even like whether it's like CPR, first aid, let's say Excel skills, Excel courses, Microsoft Word courses, they have that as well, project management. Those can be invaluable. Any sort of soft competency development training courses that might also help, whether it's negotiation, conflict resolution, those also will help. And that could be placed below work experience, or even, if you want to have below the work experience where there's going to be something additional. So if you want to have additional certifications, or even at the top below below key skills and above work experience. You're going to also get a lot of work experience from, internship co-ops. Take advantage of those co-op programs. They do allow for you to gain real life hands-on experience, take everything you've learned and apply it to real life scenarios. And that demonstrates to employers that you have that practical application. And then joining any professional associations or clubs. So, like memberships that are relevant to your field as well. And if you can volunteer, if they have volunteer opportunities, I say take that as well and list that on your resume. And, those will help with really building your experience and your network.
Fantastic. I think that was some very great points. Get involved because experience is experience. I think a lot of times we
Mhm.
psych ourselves out in thinking that only work experience is relevant, but sometimes it comes in the internships and the volunteering. So thank you for really highlighting that. And I just want to thank you once again for just joining us today and sharing your wealth of knowledge with us. I'm sure that the audience really gained a lot of value from what you shared. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Sandra.
Thank you so much, too.
And without any further ado, we have our next guest coming up. We have Andre Stewart, who's going to be talking about the trades sector. So, Andre, welcome. I'd like to welcome Andre. He has over 5 years of experience as a skilled ICI electrical apprentice. He has had the privilege of working on various projects, including the Bombardier's jet manufacturing facility and the construction of a new provincial courthouse. These experiences have honed on his expertise and equipped him with valuable insights on the trades in the trades field. And I'm looking forward to just really learning more and hearing from Andre, because your resume is quite impressive. So thank you. And before we go ahead and start asking some questions, I want to welcome you to the floor to share a little bit more about yourself with us.
Thank you. It's really great to be here, so I appreciate the opportunity. So as you guys know, I'm Andre. I spent a lot of time in the electrical field, about 5 years, and I've been fortunate enough to work on a lot of really cool job sites, like you mentioned, Bombardier, jet plane manufacturing facility, glass factories. And during that time, I spent so much time working with different people, different walks of life, just getting a feel for the trade and, trying to master my skill on my journey. So one of the many positives of this field, I would say, is it gives you the opportunity to do something you love. A lot of people, they find, they can't sit around at an office desk all day. I'm one of those for sure. I fall asleep if I sit for too long, really. So to be able to walk around and work with your hands and still be able to provide an amazing or a great lifestyle for your family, it's something I really appreciate about this field.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, Andre. I see that the chat is giving you lots of love. So it looks like a lot of people are really happy to have you here. So if you could just go ahead and share with us, how did you get started in the trade sector? If you could just share like some steps that you had to take, so education, training, and so forth, that would be great.
So my start was a little bit unorthodox. Coming out of high school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I kind of fell into the trap of, feeling like you have to make this lifelong career choice right now, right? So I went to college and I took a course or a program I really didn't enjoy. And needless to say, that didn't last long. And after that, I was a little bit lost. So I happened to speak to a friend and he said, hey, like, I think I'm going to become an electrician. And I knew nothing about it. So did a little research and I realized that it is exactly what I wanted, right? Like I mentioned, you work with your hands. Don't sit down for long, and you learn so many life lessons that you could apply in so many different fields, right? And that's what led me here. I went to an electrical program at Mohawk, and that actually helped during my apprenticeship. It took off a few hours. The total hours you have to work is about 5,000 before you can become a full licensed electrician, minimum 5,000, as well as various like schooling that your company will either pay for, or if you're lucky, the union will pay for it if you get into a union, right? So, but it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. And the experiences, like I said, are just amazing.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. You guys heard what Andre said. He went to Mohawk. I've been repping Hamilton since I've been here. So come over to Hamilton if you're interested in becoming an electrician, and go to Mohawk. So thank you so much for sharing that. I was really shocked at the number of hours that's required. 5,000 seems like a lot. How long did it take you to complete your 5,000 hours?
So completing my 5,000 hours, I'm actually not there yet. I'm almost there. It's a very long process, and they do that because it can be dangerous. So they want you to be as safe as possible, learn as much as you can, right? To make sure that your lives and the lives that you're working around are safe as well. But that is typical for electrical and plumbing. So those are the two leading professions in the trade sector. Hourly, right? It is the top two. And it's outside of like what you can do at work, right? You can, do things on the side, help people, and you really get to like create your own paycheck, right? There's no limit to how much you could really make in the field, and that's amazing.
I love that. That's amazing, and I could already see that people in the comments are already asking questions. So before I move to my own question next, because I don't want to hog the microphone. I'm gonna try to also ask the questions that the audience is asking. So we have Shaylin who's asking, "Are you able to accelerate your program? So, for instance, work longer hours or extra days?"
Yes. So that is one of the many positives. The 5,000 hours, they have to be done, but if you're somewhere that has a lot of overtime or just a lot of hours in general, you can fast track that. And so the 5,000 hours, typically it'll take 5 to 6 years. But like I've been around people who got it done in like 3.5, right? And on top of that, there's programs that you could take outside of your working hours that not only teach you things about the trade, but they can actually add on to your hours as well.
Oh, I love that. It seems like there's a lot of flexibility and a lot of perks. Like you mentioned, the union paying for it. Now you're talking like you can accelerate it. So for people who are looking for flexibility, this seems like it would be really a good choice.
Yeah.
So my next question for you is, what do you think is the biggest challenge in the trade sector?
The biggest challenge. Sometimes it's the early mornings, but apart from that, I'd say the biggest challenge is finding a company that will spend the time to actually teach you what you need to know. Like just like with anything, there's great companies and then there's not so great ones that you want to avoid, right? The bad ones, they'll rush you a lot of the time. The journeyman, which is a person that you'll learn under, they may not want to teach you anything and they'll kind of just use you as like a coffee guy in some places, right? But you have some other amazing companies that, they take the time, you learn the trade the right way, and you really get to carve out this path for yourself that was something you could use forever and teach other people, right?
No, I love that. So do you have any advice for people who want to pursue the trades instead of going to post-secondary education?
Yes, I would say go for it. Unfortunately for me, I found that in school, I never learned anything about trades. I almost didn't know they existed, right? So if I could go back, I would have started sooner, right? It would have taken away all of the time I spent, going into programs that I really didn't need to be in. And I could have fast tracked this process even quicker than that, right? So I say go for it. Don't let anyone hold you back. There's no right route to take out of school. It's just whatever feels right for you.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I love that advice. So I hope everybody's taking notes because Andre definitely dropped some gems. And I just want to thank you again for being so transparent and sharing your journey with us and for joining us. So thank you so much, Andre. Your feedback and your advice was really, really helpful. I'm going to take one last question before I let you go. And Shaylin has asked, how many years of a fully licensed electrician before you can be a journey person?
So before you can become a journey person, you have to complete that 5,000 hours, or it'll typically take about 5 to 6 years. And at that point, you write a test, provincial exam, and you become a journey person at that point. So 5 to 6 years is my answer.
Perfect. Thank you. I think you answered that very well. And Shaylin, I hope that was sufficient for you. So again, thank you so much, Andre, for joining us. And we're just going to go ahead and take a break and have our DJ play some tracks in the meantime. So DJ MC Genesis, take it away.
Brandy, Dolce, Ace Kid, all them on the rise. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I went from Ellie dancing to mini mansions. The girls in the Aruba doing belly dances. Half of my advancing, jaws from Branson to make it through my circumstances. But you know I'm wiser now. Move like Kaiser now. Got a butter soft lover just to hide my pound. Got a house in the valley, come and find me now. Got enough dough to buy the town. So I might give a 6 to my chick, Benz to my mom. Crib so big it look like the Synagogue. Give her a couch just to spill Henny on. And been a gone since Lotto's and Benetton.
People say that I'm not the same girl. They say I think that I'm in my own world. What makes them think that I have changed? Yeah, a little joking, but it brings my problem. Be like you, I have to try and solve it. Yes, everything is quite the same. Whoa, I'm just trying to be me. Do what I gotta do. People think that I'm sitting on top of the world. Sitting on top of the world. Trying to be me. Yeah, what I'm proving. People think that I'm sitting on top of the world. Oh yeah.
Go ahead, it's your time, baby. It's your time, baby. Get my baby. That's the difference when you're my baby. That's how it is when you. Nobody make me stop the world. Feel my thug passion. Give what you ask for. So tell me if you want action. Until the lights back on. I got the one we could last long. And I never knew my son. Feel like what I waited for night long. I pull up in my fashion. Every night flashing anyway. You can go ahead and just head out and chill up in my villa to get out the whole night. Just get in the drop top, take the head out and cruise with your head outside. Go ahead, it's your time, baby. It's your time, baby. Get my baby. That's the difference when you're my baby. That's how it is when you. Nobody make me stop the world. Baby, don't mind when you see, come give me that. Jump up on my body like animal. Dance make you feel like animal.
Okay, DJ, you just stopped when I was getting into my favorite song. I love Tested and Approved by Burna Boy. That's a good one. So thank you again for always bringing the best songs and the good vibes. But I just wanted to, take the moment to do a little bit of a giveaway. We have a $30 Amazon gift card that we want to give away, and the rules are very, very simple. All you have to do is be the first person to take a picture of this event, tag Skills for Life on Instagram, and drop a comment about what your favorite moment of this event has been so far. That's all you have to do to win that $30 Amazon gift card. So go ahead and best of luck to whoever is going to win.
Come give me that. Jump up on my body like animal. Dance make you feel like animal. I go lock you down like criminal. One touch feeling like 1 million. People just they watch you like a cinema. Wine bandit thing like animal. Make sure you do nobody else like me. Baby, don't mind when you see, come give me that. Chop up on my body like animal. Dance make you feel like animal. I go lock you down like criminal. One touch feeling like 1 million. People just they watch you like a cinema. Wine bandit thing like animal. Make sure you do nobody else like me. Just that approved and trusted. Just that approved and trusted. Oh, please, please. Just that approved and trusted. Just that approved and trusted.
Sabi girl no they too like talk. Animals they in human form. Animal nobody like walk, but you must hustle if you want to. You no finish them won't fight us. If them they run them no fit catch up. I know they form say I too righteous. No con they form say you too like us. Me no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Got my mind on my money. Make you dance like broccoli. Steady green like broccoli. Steady on my grind, oh yeah, what they want tell me. Could deny my fantasy. They want to check if my tap be no rush. But it they rush well, it be much. Now gotta make my tap be the rush. The kind money we touch. Yeah, it they rush well, it be much. No be hype, everybody they crush. There's no darling with us. Yeah. Sexy love what she need from a bad boy like me. yeah. Sexy kiss is the thing that she ain't for my lips. Yeah. My sex herself is the only air that she breathes. And when I look into her eyes, I know that she can never get enough of me. Your body high me like lean. When we do it, skin to skin. And as the rush they increase, I feel the drip in your V. Shorty say she feeling so. She grab my neck and she whisper, please. Shorty give me that splash from my chest to my knees. Yeah. Shorty got a lot in her bucket list.
Instagram posting, cop the vibe, my day. Start falling like London Bridge. I don't care if I saw you in a magazine or if you're on TV. That one don't mean nothing to me. Don't need a shower, oh baby, I need a freak. Lick it like ice cream, as if you mean to be disgusting. It's not enough. Jump my banana.
Okay. DJ's playing all my favorite songs by Burna Boy. City Boys is definitely one of my favorite tracks. But we do want to bring up our final guest speaker, Joelle, who'll be talking about how to build a brand and the importance of networking. Joelle Jacqueline is the founder of Cooler Consulting, a business development solutions company with a mission to build better businesses. Having a passion for working with people and developing their talents, Joelle has become a certified training practitioner specializing in people and process development. Joelle helps aspiring early stages entrepreneurs holistically navigate the entrepreneurial journey, both professionally and personally, ultimately helping entrepreneurs realize and scale their business ideas. Joelle's personal mission is to create an aha moment through challenging individuals to think differently and deeper. As a mentor with the Futurepreneur Canada and Startup here Toronto, Joelle is an advocate for creating opportunity and sharing knowledge and resources. Joelle, we're so glad to have you here. So welcome. And I just can't wait to learn and hear more from you. But before we go ahead and dive in with the questions, please do take the floor and share a little bit more about yourself.
Absolutely. And first I'll share, and you'll love this, Faith. I am dialing from Hamilton today. Hamilton for the day. So, but as Faith mentioned, I am the founder of Cooler Consulting. So I do help early stage and aspiring entrepreneurs, typically from equity deserving communities. So that's typically BIPOC, women, neurodiverse. And I know neurodiverse, a lot of people are like, what is that? So just to give some context, those are just people that think differently. So those are, I've worked with people with autism, ADHD, dyslexia, Down syndrome. And because of the audience I help serve, which is the aspiring and early stage entrepreneurs, I really help them get focused on what their idea is and help build a roadmap for their business to be successful. And sometimes maybe entrepreneurship is not right for them or not right for them right now. So I also do integration coaching and career coaching with helping people integrate into work. So kind of all over consulting, coaching, training, but you really hit it on the head. I love just creating a space of safety and creating aha moments for other individuals, whether it's through conversation or facilitating a workshop or participating in events like today.
Amazing. You definitely sound so cool. I'm gonna have to lurk you on LinkedIn and connect because I'm loving the vibes. So thank you so much for sharing. I just wanted to know, what advice do you have for someone who's looking to start out and building their brand?
Absolutely. So number one, whether you like it or not, you have already a personal brand out there. So your personal brand is a mixture of who you are, how you show up, and how other people see you. So you really want to understand what information is already out there, especially online. So other people will use online to Google search you, whether it be just a regular Google search or on a particular platform such as LinkedIn. So you really want to know what is already out there and how accurate it is, because they are looking to assess your credibility, your knowledge, your experience, because ultimately they want to be able to trust you. And a little backstory here that happened to me. I was early on in my consultancy, I was helping support one of my clients, and I had sent them an email, and in my email signature was a link to my online portfolio. However, that link was not active. So they had called me, left a voicemail saying, "Hey, I don't know if you're really who you say you are because your link isn't working. I think I see you online, but it's a different, some information wasn't matching up." And that's when I realized, oh, you can't just start a business or looking for a career without understanding what's already out there. Is it accurate to who you are and how you can adjust it? Right. So you really need to look at the big picture. And when you're starting out, number one, be authentic. The easiest place to start is photos. And when we talk about professional photos, how does it represent who you are? My brother, he's a photographer. So if anyone's looking for a photographer, but his photo is representing, it's a portrait of himself and it's black and white, right? But he's also smiling. So it shows he has personality. Are you artistic? Do you want a like happy photo, right? So you want to make sure the photo that is representing you professionally is also who you want to be. So number one, start with doing, making sure you have a good photo that represents who you are. Number two is do an online search of yourself. If other people are Googling you, you should Google yourself and make the steps to go and adjust whatever needs to be adjusted. When I did this for myself, I saw someone put up, this is back in the day when we used to just like upload all sorts of photos when social media just started. And people are tagging in, maybe they're not the best photos. It was a night out or something. So you want to make sure you're removing those tags, removing any photos that you don't want out there, any YouTube videos. So really audit all your platforms, determine what's out there, adjust as needed, and it's not a one and done. So I would recommend 1 to 2 times a year, kind of doing that audit of yourself of what's out there and adjusting it so that it represents who you are. And lastly, what you can also do is set up a Google alert for your name, right? What pops up if someone tags you, so you can get an alert and you can adjust those things right away.
Amazing. I didn't even know that a Google alert was a thing. So I'm already learning so much. So thank you for all those great tips. I never even thought of doing like a Google audit or Googling myself either. I mean, I do it occasionally, but I wasn't being intentional with it. So I think that was really helpful. I also love the idea of being authentic because everybody's professional journey looks different, right? So just be authentic and true to who you are and the vibe that you're trying to put out there. So again, I think Cheryl, those were some amazing tips that you shared. My next question for you is, what kind of tips do you have for somebody who's looking to build their network? What resources can they use to do that?
Absolutely. And I think let's get clear on what networking is and the meaning of it, right? So networking, it kind of refers to the intentional and strategic process of building and maintaining relationships. So let's reframe it, because networking can a lot of times just be like, oh, a network, especially for introverts, we're like, no, no, no. But it's about making connections, right? It's about just building those relationships. And the two key kind of phrases to think about is being intentional and maintaining, right? So intentional and maintaining, if we can remember those two words. So around intention, when we talk about networking or going to a networking event, really, when we say making connections, it's just showing up to those spaces. It could be the grocery store and you could be networking, right? And building a connection with the cashier, who knows? But the thought about being intentional, especially when you're going into a networking space, is what are you hoping to gain? Is it just get new information? Is it to get a work opportunity? If you're starting a business, is it to get funding or additional resources? Is it just to find community? So get intentional of what you are looking for when showing up to these spaces, because that's where, elevator pitch and who you're trying to connect with kind of comes out. So be intentional, number one. And then when we talk about maintaining, it's the follow-up. So a lot of people think networking is just showing up. No, there's things that need to happen afterwards, whether it's a thank you note to either a host or someone that you've met, connecting on LinkedIn. For me, a lot of times through a conversation, and it really is an art when you're meeting people through a conversation. If I get a personal tidbit, like they share like, oh yeah, my daughter was in dance. Okay, they have a daughter that's in dance. So when I follow up, I can say, how was that dance recital you told me about? The little moments go a long way, right? So remember those details. And then in terms of kind of building your network and the actual resources there, start with the communities you have now. So if you're in sports, if you're in dance or anything like that, again, it's building connections. So find out more about individuals beyond the space that you already know them in. LinkedIn is a big one, and especially where it's professional. But number one caution here is don't just connect to connect saying, oh, I know this person, add. Again, we want to be intentional. And a pro tip here that I always advise people I work with to do is when I say connect with me on LinkedIn, please send me a note so I know how we met, because that note actually stays in the chat in LinkedIn. So if ever I need to recall to say, oh, where do I know Faith from? But Faith, you already sent me a message saying, hey, Joelle, met you at Skills for Life on May 2nd. Happy to stay connected on LinkedIn. It triggered my memory, and you can stay front of mind. So that's a pro tip there, is to add a little note of how you've met the person when you're adding them on LinkedIn. Other things you can do is register for local events or training, either training on networking or a topic you like, because there also is the art of networking online. You can do that as well. And then you can also find a career coach or a mentor. I am both. As mentioned, I am a mentor with Futurepreneur. That's more in the entrepreneurship space. I also do run complimentary mentorship programs as well. Or there is also paid versions for coaching and things like that, for either integrating or just really building those skills. So I know that was a lot, but connect on LinkedIn, connect with the communities you already have, and then just look out for other areas of interest and other events that you want to join so you can connect with people with.
Amazing. That was so good. I'm here like, yes, send notes, follow up. So that was really, really good, Joelle. Thank you so much for sharing that. We have a question from O'Neill, which says, do you suggest networking before or after the business is established?
When it comes to entrepreneurship, networking anytime works, right? Because it goes back to the intention. So if you haven't started a business yet and you're saying, I want to go to this networking event, my intention is to spread the word about my business. My intention is to find a mentor. So figure out what the intention is. But yes, networking is anytime, all the time.
Love that. And that's something that I always hold on to. For me, I'm just always trying to connect with people and build relationships, because you just never know what your pivot is going to look like. You never know what's going to come up. And I'll just give a personal example. I have a photo booth business, and I got into the school boards, and everybody's like, how did you do this? And that came from a relationship that I had fostered years ago, long before I even thought of having a photo booth business. So it just goes to say, like, just focus on building relationships, genuine relationships, maintain those relationships, and you just never know when you can leverage those networks. My last and final question for you, Joelle, though I'm sad because you're sharing so much and I want to keep you here forever, but we do have a timeline. So the last question that I have for you is, how do you believe that branding and networking helped build your business? And can you please discuss the importance of each?
Yes, and I can piggyback off of your story, Faith. So my consultancy actually happened what I call happenstance. So I used to work for a company, FedEx office. It's no longer in Canada, not because of me, I swear. But a couple years ago, an old colleague of mine reached out and said, you're really good at running your center. I'm starting a business actually out of the Sheraton and the Westin hotels. Would love to have you on board to help kind of get our processes in order. And I was like, oh, great. And a lot of times, especially when we talk about tech companies in San Francisco and investments and all this stuff, the first investors in a lot of these business are people you've already worked with, because they already know your work ethic, right? So in terms of branding, really having your credibility, because you never know who you're going to meet in the future or will circle back around in the future that you can work with. In terms of networking, showing up to spaces you don't think you need or should show up in. That sometimes, actually, I have another story for this one. So George Brown College, they have an entrepreneurship hub. And I reached out, and Neil, he runs it, Neil Elliott, and he's amazing. And I reached out and I connected with him, and I was like, hey, I was thinking about joining. And he's like, tell me more about your business. And I did. And he's like, you know what? I think you're more advanced than this program offers. And I said to him, listen, if I'm not taking a space from someone else, I'd love to show up. He's like, come on down. I've gotten clients and speaking engagements just from participating in that. And it wasn't for me, that wasn't my intention. My intention, because I'm a life learner, is to show up to these spaces to what's new, who can, even Neil, he runs it, who can I partner with in the future? Though he might seem like a competitor, he's really a partner. And those opportunities presented itself. So whether there's a webinar on, like, let's say SEO, and you're like, I've been to 5 SEO webinars, but you don't know who's on this one. And you don't know who's not on the call that someone might know, right? So it's really just showing up to spaces of interest and with intention.
Amazing, Joelle. It's just gems after gems after gems after gems. So thank you for that. And I do love the idea that just show up. You never know what's going to be there for you. So that was really, really good. And I just want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all our speakers, including Joelle, Andre, and Sandra for today. But before we get to the end of this session, I want to sneak in a quick $30 giveaway because, we have gift cards and I want to give some away. So we're going to go ahead and do a giveaway. Then we'll bring back the speakers later on for questions. So just keep in mind any questions you might want to ask any of the previous guests that we had. But for now, we're going to go ahead and announce the winner of the $30 gift card. How this one is going to work is the first person to get this challenge is the person that's getting this $30 gift card. So let's welcome back the DJ as I go ahead and get ready to announce the winner of the $30 gift card.
I miss you from the time you went away. Baby. I love never felt this type of way. Hey, yeah. When you give me that wine, it's a body where you got no your fire, baby. When you talk about divine, only you got the thing I desire, baby. But look how you love it, come back again. Make me feel some type of way. Sending a message straight to me brain. Sing like it in Bamba Day. And anytime you come around, I feel the one to give you love. You know I must come back. All I want you to say, come, wine, give me. Come, wine, give me. The only one alone I go. Come, wine, give me. Yeah, been a long time since you come my way. Used to hold a vibe every night and day. Summer love wine anytime to the play. Put it in drive so you are manifest. Baby, when you see me, tell me that you need it. Now we don't have no time to waste. Yeah, I go give you right away. Yeah, but look how you love it, come back again. Make me feel some type of way. Sending a message straight to my brain. Sing like it in Bamba Day. And anytime you come around, I feel the one to give you love. You know I must come back. All I want you to say, come, wine, give me. Come, wine, give me. The only one alone I go. Come, wine, give me.
I want you to breathe me. Let me be your air.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you for keeping us entertained. As we mentioned, we have a winner for the $30 gift card, and we just want to shout out Shay Nelson, who won this gift card. If you could go ahead and just send a message on Instagram to Skills for Life to claim your prize, that would be great. Alternatively, you can email Danielle at danielle@theskillsforlife.ca to claim your prize. So congratulations, Shay. Don't forget to mention to message the team so you can redeem your prize. And also, if you didn't win, don't worry. We do have another giveaway that's coming up, but we're just going to go ahead and bring back our guest speakers for the final questions. So welcome back to the guest speaker, Sandra. Andre and Joelle.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm going to just pull up some questions from the audience. So, audience, if you guys have any questions, make sure you type them in the chat so we can ask our guest speakers. This is your chance to ask them any questions that you might have. Just waiting for some questions to come in. Okay, so the question that I'm going to ask is for Joelle. Joelle, how do you navigate the network when you're an introvert?
Oh, this is a good one. So one, it's practice. And I know it's easier said than done, but showing up initially to maybe a training on how to network, because I did facilitate one with the Toronto Public Library last year, and I had an introvert in the audience, and they're like, okay, the reframing of just connecting with people really helped. So if you kind of take off the pressure of networking in this I have to be on my A game and all that, right? Take that pressure off, number one, and then be intentional with what you're trying to gain in or share even in an exchange. And then that would help lead just more of an organic conversation and not so feeling salesy, because I think that's what puts people off, is like we're always trying to get something for ourselves, but figure out what you can also offer. So in that exchange, when someone's like, well, what do you do? Or what are you looking to do? You can always say what you need to say, but the flow of the conversation, it could be, and what do you do? And how do you think I can help you? Right. So I think looking out for any training on networking, and there's tons of free ones out there as well. Doing that and then practicing can really help.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for also asking the question, Javika. And I'm just going to have one final question for all our guest speakers. And I'm going to ask it if we can have Sandra go first, then Joelle, then Andre. That would be great. So the final question that I have, since today was all about job readiness and how to prepare for the job market, based on everything that we discussed today, what's the biggest takeaway or the one thing that you want the students to walk away with in regards to everything that we shared today? So Sandra, if you could please take it away.
Sure. So some of the biggest takeaways that I think are the most valuable are, well, first and foremost, your job description is going to be your best friend, your Bible, to whatever it is. So save it somewhere, because when it comes to your resume, you want to make sure that you customize it to the job description. You want to make sure that it does it's something that you refer to often, so that if you do, get an interview, you're able to also speak to that job description. So save it someplace, whether it's on Google Docs or something like that, where you can come back to it later. You want to make sure that you keep your resume clean, concise, and consistent. A recruiter goes through an abundance of resumes a day, so you want to make sure that you know you can make the best impact by highlighting your skills in the most concise and professional way. And to give you some context, a recruiter will probably look at a resume over a period of 30 seconds, so it's not much time. So make sure that your most impactful stuff is at the top and at the bottom. And then also use your resources. So job descriptions, like I said, templates from Canva, from Google, from Microsoft Word. Use career services, especially at schools, and friends. Ask your friends to proofread your resume, because they might catch something that you didn't necessarily see. So that's important. And then one other thing is cover letters. Are they necessary? They're nice to haves, not always necessary, but always have it ready to upload. And it's a great way to highlight your personality and introduce yourself to hiring managers. So always keep that updated as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that. We also have one question for you, Sandra. Do most recruiters use online tools to scan resumes before having an HR person look at it?
Depends on the company. So the companies I've worked for, HR has looked at the resumes directly, and it's like I said, a high number or a high volume of applicants. And we usually would go through it, physically, manually. But other companies that I have worked for do use the scanning tool. So that's why it's so important to make sure that your job description or your resume aligns with the job description.
Perfect. Thank you for clarifying and for sharing that. Joelle, if you could please just give us one thing that you want the audience to really take away from today's session, that would be great.
Yeah. Can I do one on branding and one on networking?
Sure. The floor is yours, Joelle. The floor is yours.
So in terms of branding, just remember your personal brand is a combination of who you are, how you show up, and how others perceive you. So just make sure that it aligns with who you are and who you want to be on and offline. And remember, we all evolve, so it's okay to change. Just make sure we're updating that presence. And then in terms of networking, just remember to take the pressure off, reframe it that it's making connections, be intentional, foster those relationships, and don't forget the follow-up piece, because that's really how you foster them.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. Follow-up is important, guys. And Andre, the floor is yours. If you could just give us one thing that we should hold on to as a final takeaway from this conversation.
The main thing for me, I would say, is don't be afraid to walk your own path. Life is full of so many different paths, and there isn't one answer for everyone. Don't be afraid to walk your own path and try new things. Trades aren't always talked about. I feel like the schools, like high school, it kind of pushes you towards university and college, which is amazing and very necessary, but it's not the only option. And it's not for everyone. Not everyone is meant to sit at a table or at a desk and have meetings all day. So yeah, try new things and learn who you are and take that with you through life.
Absolutely love that. So I just want to thank each of you guys for taking the time to sit here with us today on our panel, for sharing your wealth of knowledge, and for just being authentic. So thank you so much. And now the time that we've all been waiting for has arrived. It's time for us to announce the winner of our biggest giveaway of the night. And here's the catch. Once we announce the winner, they will have 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. That is 120 seconds. To go ahead and claim their prize. Okay. So just make sure you're paying attention so you don't miss that window. If you do miss it, we'll swiftly move things on to the next person who will claim the prize. So drum roll, please. The owner of the $200 gift card is Marcus Diggs. So congratulations, Marcus or Marquise, on winning. You have 2 minutes. So please send a quick email to Danielle at danielle@theskillsforlife.ca to find out more information about how you can collect your prize. And then to conclude the night, we are going to do one last survey. So everyone grab your phone or your device and head over to www.mentee.com and put the code 8565. 4196 to answer the questions that we have as we prepare to wrap up. I see Marquise is in the comments. Come out the comments and send that email before your time runs out. Go claim your $200 gift card. Congratulations. I'm glad to see that you are here, and congratulations on winning. In the meantime, everybody else, grab your devices and head over to www.mentee.com and enter the code 85654196 and answer the questions that we have as we prepare to wrap things up. In the meantime, if we could have the DJ just come play some tunes while we wait for the people to head over to mentee.com.
Who told you bad man don't dance? Who told you gangsters don't dance? Even with a on my hip I dance. Bad man, take another sip and dance. 2 left feet, don't trip and dance. The girl want me, I might give her a chance. Give her a look, she give me a glance. You wore that tight dress just to enhance. You like a bum bum. Never seen you before. Where you come from? You got a fuck. I got a long. And I will never met you at random. This must be destiny. That's why you're next to me. You feel like ecstasy. This must be destiny. That's why you're next to me. You feel like ecstasy. Who told you bad man don't dance? Who told you gangsters don't dance? Even with a on my hip I dance. Bad man take another sip and dance. 2 left feet don't trip and dance. The girl want me, I might give her a chance. Give her a look, she give me a glance. You wore that tight dress just to enhance.
Touch my forehead, chest, left shoulder, then right side. Pray my brothers are good outside. I know the vibes, I know the vibes. You're the one girl, stop rolling eyes. I find love and it slowly dies. So lie lullaby, don't make my eye cry. Let me hold your controller. I'm not one of these controlling guys. I want you to touch both the girls, them and socialize. Enjoy your life. It's so pretty, open eyes. I know the vibes, I know the vibes. Just 'cause I'm not jealous doesn't mean
Okay. I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in today. And just a quick reminder for you all to follow us on social media, specifically IG, at the skills, the number 4 life Inc. Okay, so the social media IG account is at Skills for Life Inc. Make sure you follow us so that you can be notified anytime we have cool events like this taking place. And before we head out, I just want to bring Chris back to come back and chat with us. So Chris, head over back and join us.
Hello. Thanks for having me back. And thanks for all the speakers that went on today. Did a tremendous job. Exactly what I would hope to happen, to hear about diverse opportunities, skill sets to learn. That's all what we're about here, doing the life skills, trying to help you move forward in your own personal and professional journey, learning from new people and people who have done different paths in life and journey. I just want to, again, just thank all the speakers who came on today and giving your time in the evening. You did a tremendous job. Thank you so much. I want to thank, again, my team in the background, working all behind the scenes. Again, doing a great job. And you again, Faith, for always being a great host. We keep having you back because you do a tremendous job. And DJ Genesis as well, always doing great with the music. And again, I want to thank those who came out today. Obviously, you've taken a first step in your exploration and your journey by just coming out to new events and learning, listening, and engaging. So I just want to say thank you again. And yes, please do keep in touch, follow us on social media, and come to our other events. So just throwing it back over to you, Faith. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you so much, Chris, and thanks for having us. But before you guys sneak out, I just want us to do one last final survey. So if everybody can just head over to www.mentee.com and enter that same code 85654196 and answer the questions as we wrap up, that would be fantastic. And if you already completed that survey, thank you so much. And I just want to thank you all for tuning into this event once again and for taking the time to join us. Feel free to stay as we get the party kicking. But other than that, thank you so much. And I wish you all an amazing rest of the evening.
Make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water, make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water. Normally, I keep my cool, but tonight I'm whining. I'ma be in a dangerous mood, can you match my timing? Telling me that you really about it, watch her hide it. Talk is cheap, so show me that you understand how I like it. Can you blow my mind? Set off my whole body. If I give you my time, can you touch my soul from it? I don't want to take me where I ain't been before. Can you blow my mind? Set off my whole body, whole body. Make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water, make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water. Hopefully, we can last all night, don't get too excited. Oh, privacy.